Hello, everybody. This is Prakhar Sharma from SK Project, and today I'm here to again present you all with the job opportunities in esports webinar series, which is brought to you by our esports gaming ecosystem project, SK. And after the last two episodes, I would like to wish all of you a very happy Christmas, or should I say, holiday season ahead. Now that we're in the final month of this year. And I have Yade Hirvonen, which is helping us with the streaming of today's episode. And so, in case you are wondering, who are we? We are SK Project, and what do we do is that from developing the regional know-how of esports, we do everything till bringing together people with different skills and expertise, and this interest about gaming, and their desire to do something in the field. So yeah, basically everything between that, we are responsible for it. And the esport ecosystem that we want to create has to do everything with creating and promoting the member participation in various activities, connecting experts and companies in the industry, coaching and supporting entrepreneurs in gaming, so the young minds who are trying to start a business in this field, and discovering various business possibilities in esports which are already existing, plus boosting cooperation in the area and creating a strong network of gaming enthusiasts. Today, in our today's episode, we have Marko Haaja from Kuura Games. And hello, Marko. I think your microphone. Yes, we got you now. So Marko is here to tell us everything about game designing. And we can start now. Marko, would you like to share your screen?
Oh, yes. Let's see what happens now if I do it same time as before. But yeah, so everything about game design. Let's see which do we open up. We do open up this one. Does it? No. Yes. No.
Yes, it is there.
Is it the right one?
Yes,
or not?
It is there.
Yes. Good. So yes, everything about game design. Yeah, that's not hard at all.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward for this one.
yeah, thank you. Me too. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but let's start let's start. So hi, I'm Marko. I'm from Kotka, and well, Karhula actually. It's more precise. And yes, I've been in game industry since 2012. Started in QAMK and was studying game programming, which I got out of a few years back, 2016. And then my company Kuura is what I started 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I do daily is, well, almost everything except art in the games that we make. So design, programming, both producing, testing, everything like that.
But yeah. Marko, before we move on, I have a question.
Yes.
You mentioned that you're in gaming industry since 2012, and you are a graduate of QAMK University.
Yes.
And I'm currently studying at SAMK, which is the new version of it. And I just want to know, like, I ask it from all the guests that we have on this show. So, your personal gamer profile. What game did you first play? And since then, like, can you say what was your favorite game, or what are you playing these days?
Yeah, sure. So I think the first game I don't even know for sure, but it was on the Amiga console for sure, like that really old PC kind of thing. That was back then, but it might have been that, or then it was this Home Alone game in Windows 95 or something. I don't know what. And then, did you say favorite game ever was the other one? The favorite game is Kingdom Hearts series for sure. That's that got me really passionate about gaming when I first played Kingdom Hearts game. What was was there another thingy?
Yeah. Like, what are you playing these days? Are you still
These
playing
days?
Kingdom Hearts, or like?
Well, I did play Kingdom Hearts 3,
Okay.
and that's the latest one in the series, and yeah, that wasn't that. That was the first time I got kind of disappointed in that series.
Okay.
But it's still a really dear series to me. But a latest game I've played is actually called Digimon Cyber Sleuth. How do you say it? It's
Okay.
a PlayStation 4 game, and it's actually really. I'm hooked in that game right now.
It's been a long time since I've played or seen Digimon.
Oh
But
yeah.
I would like to go back to it and reintroduce myself to that universe.
Oh
But
yeah.
but
That is really.
anyways, I wanna ask you, like, you mentioned that your daily tasks include designing, programming, producing, testing, etc. But like, I want to know myself. What was your thought behind choosing game design as a profession?
It kind of like it's been my childhood dream for
Okay.
a long time, like since Kingdom Hearts, I guess.
Okay.
It's been my childhood dream, but then it got kind of I had a setback when I got a kind of real job and joined like this traditional kind of things industry. I was started driving like a truck. That was
Okay.
my job, and then I actually applied to Guamk just to get like I had to apply to something when I got out of high school because then I needed the kind of some money that you get
True.
like some grant. Then I had to apply to something. So then I just picked one, and it was computer science, and then it turned into game programming actually. So it was kind of lucky also that I got into this.
That's an interesting story, actually.
Oh yeah, yeah. It
But
was like yeah.
but we can move on with this, and you can
Yeah.
tell us about maybe Kuura Games.
Oh yeah, sure. So let's start with Kuura. So we were started in 2017 on April's Day, like April's Fool Day.
Okay.
So that was our April's Fool back then.
Huh?
And first we started with mobile games, but now we've moved into PC. Our newest game called Pack Off is for PC. That's and we also do own games, and we do games for other companies also.
Okay.
And we also have this sauna place that we rent, and we organize eSport tournaments and kind of like real sport tournaments, and like we organize these events, and we also like try to gamify traditional industries. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, we do kind of things like we do all kinds of things.
Yeah, it's. I think you have like a finger in all pies, because it's like you make games, you rent sauna, you have
Yeah.
tournament organizing, and you as you say, like, I don't know much about it, but gamify traditional industries. But
Yeah.
maybe you can tell us more about it later in
Oh
your
yeah.
presentation.
Sure. Yeah, it's kind of like a try to have traditional industries to like kind of games to make games kind of make, for example, simulation that could help with jobs in other industries basically.
Okay.
But that kind of stuff we're also doing right now.
Okay.
But I guess we want to go to the game design itself, that I should tell everything
Yes.
about.
Yes. Please.
Yes, please. So game design is basically like you have to think of everything. Like basically, like when you're making games, you have to think differently.
Yeah.
Because even if you think it's really simple and no one can get this wrong, the players, the users might think it differently. They don't don't see how you see things. Mainly because you also have the experience of various of games, so you might think differently than like a basic consumer. So everything has to be kind of thought out, and also that's a lot about fooling the players, because like in the front, like what players see, it's this neat tight package, but underneath it's like a mess of everything that you try to hide from everyone else. Just try to get and like kind of fool the players to think it's all perfect in the outside. And also because I'm a programmer, this relates to me a lot. So it's either that I have no idea why this works, or then I have no idea why this works. Like, why does it work? So it's basically, these are all the aspects of game design in itself.
Pretty good visual representation, I would say. I like learning with memes, and I think many of our users would agree that too as well.
Yeah, that's how I learn best also. Them.
But what is game design?
Yeah, what is game design? So these 6 things that I say in here are not the only things, but it's like the idea, platform, theme, mechanics, effects, visuals. They're like the main things, but there are a lot more. Like, you have to think of just like everything that happens in the game design. Like one single button that you put like in the main menu, for example, you have to think closely that where you put it, and does it make an effect when let's say your mouse is over it, like it's hovered and or selected. Does it make anything? Does it like become bigger, or does it like kind of zoom in and out to like make it more attractable to the users? And also what happens when you click it. You have to, like, everything has to be in there, and does it make an effect when you click it? Like, you have to think of every single thing that that happens in the game, and it's really things that you don't usually have to think about. So that's kind of
that sounds like being a gamer. Like, I cannot even imagine like how much stuff that goes in the background, like you showed in the last slide, where the back end and front end example. I think it perfectly describes it in textual ways, like the location, the appearance, and like it's crazy. It's amazing. I like it. Like, it's so expensive, and so the field is pretty big, I would say.
Oh yeah, it is. And for some games, I think even the Kingdom Hearts I mentioned before is like that. The basic mechanics, like the basic animation, running animation, they can spend months of time to like tweak the little things on one. This, if it's like something that appears and reappears all over again in the game, they just like the biggest companies just use a lot of time to like make it perfect and just like smooth it up, so it's like really like amazing.
Yeah, so that's all those updates are for.
Oh yeah. For example, yeah, that's
okay.
That's just like see how much time you can put in the stuff like that you don't really see the difference, but you can feel it if something's off.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So here are like few different things that are from different kind of like videos or different places that like define game design. And as you can probably see that they are like not even close, like they're not similar, like yes. They are all like different aspects, and they still all are under game design.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why it's quite hard to tell everything about game design, but of course we can do it just today in this 30 minutes. But like if we go through these, I think the best representation is the like top right, the theme, core mechanics, and visual style.
So the Venn diagram, you mean?
I guess so. Yeah, the top right. I didn't hear what you
Okay,
said.
all right. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, um, so the thing is that you also like there is this little spot in the between that all of those have like that's the sweet spot that everything should like fit together and they should all be like top notch like it's like rare for game to get all those three really like in there, but of course some do, and it's really amazing when that happens, and then that's like a good uh, objective for every game that you want to make, of course, to get the sweet spot. Um, but then there's the Pokemon Go example. I'm not sure how good you like see. I see it full screen, but do you see also on full screen?
Yeah. I see it full screen. Plus, I see in both screens. So
Oh.
I'm actually enjoying this visual representation.
Oh, that's good.
And
So you can
I'm
yeah.
thinking about it like how does it like whatever you're saying. It's pretty for me personally. It's really interesting.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, for me too. So the Pokemon Go, like there's the core loop that is the one of the first things you have to consider when you're designing a game. It's done like it's kind of genius how they've done it in Pokemon Go, because like when I heard that Pokemon Go is coming, like I don't know, I heard it first like 5 years back that it's coming at some point. I had no idea that they would like build it around to that system that you would have to catch as many of the same Pokemon as possible, because the main games are like you just have to catch basically one that let's say one Pikachu that you turn into Raichu, for example. So and when I heard what happened there, I was like, oh, that's so stupid. That's like that's like so stupid mechanic. No one is gonna play that kind of mechanic. But then, of course, when I tried to play it, then I like understood the point. Like, and it's really like these 6 steps that you have in the Pokemon Go. They really like complement each other really well. Like there is the loop, and it works really amazingly.
Yeah, Pokemon Go is like one of the most, I would say, successful games in the past times.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially on the like, obviously it's on the mobile phone and like more portable peripherals. So I would say the way you're explaining it, because in the beginning I was also thinking if you have to catch just one of each, it's like it would get boring after some time.
Yeah, it would.
But if it's like this, then I think they have put a lot of effort and a lot of creativity into this, because I was just amazed of how they used like it's the technology. I think it's AR.
Oh yeah.
And I was just really amazed at the time, mind blown.
Yeah,
but it's interesting. Thanks for informing us.
Oh yeah, and I think it's I think this is a kind of bold statement, but I would say that it's the most innovative game that has been yet made. Is like Pokemon Go, basically. Of course, the innovativeness plus that it was a like kind of a like it was big thing also with the like it was easy to market at that point, so a lot of players like got that, and also Pokemon Go right now they are like getting more and more innovative with their things all the time.
I think I heard somewhere that I read it on the news that this year, even though it's post-pandemic and people are told to stay inside, Pokemon Go was one of the most played games of this year.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, and it's like they did it really well, and well now they also like they made the level cap 10 levels. They increased it by 10 levels, so now some people like that new thing, and some people don't. But I think they are
still working on it, probably.
Yeah, they're working on it and still bringing the game forward, and that's really cool. That I think they will that will be a big game for a long time still, the Pokemon Go.
But you explained this game design. Can you tell us, like, in different steps for our less aware audience, like how can you define game design or designing a game in different steps?
So what was the question? I just missed it a
Sorry,
bit. So,
yeah. I was asking that, can you, like, you showed us what is game design,
yep.
and many different visual examples. Could you tell our less aware audience who don't know much about it, about different steps in designing a game?
Oh yeah. So different steps of designing a game. So that happens to be the next slide in here, and
Okay.
it's game design document, GDD, is like the base where that is built, the design of new game, and you have to of course think that, are you doing it yourself or are you part of a big team? So kind of that's how big are you making the game, so you have to know it kind of beforehand, that you know that you don't bite too big of a bite kind of. And also, what's your area of expertise in the game? That's like the big thing. And the why is the thing, that why are you making the game? For me, it's important in that way that, I think if I would make a copy of, let's say, Angry Birds, the thing is that, why would I want to make a copy of Angry Birds? Like, I think the game that you are making should be a new game, not just a copy of another game. That has to, of course, if you're making the game for yourself, then you can, that's a good way to learn to copy kind of a game that already exists. But if you're making a kind of commercial game, you would have to have your own thing. That's what I would say.
But what is this game design document?
So game design document. So what is in that? There's there's this thing that there's everything.
Okay.
Everything is in game design document. And by everything I mean that there are facts like the core game loop that I was talking about in the Pokemon Go example. Then the platform, as you said, that Pokemon Go is a mobile game that's really based on the location of the object, of the player. So I think the platform is really important to know, what's the best, because you can't play Pokemon Go with PC because it's based on location. You don't carry your PC with you when you're going to play Pokemon Go. So it's important to know the best platform to build it to. Of course, genre, theme, what features you want. Then tools. So, for example, do you use Unity game engine or Unreal game engine? Those are the two main free game engines that are right now. And also, do you use 2D or 3D, stuff like that? There are a lot more styles. Do you want a publisher? Is it a premium game, or do you kind of have a free to play game that you would have ads on it or stuff like that? And also price. And then there's what store are you selling it? What's your timeline? Release dates. How do you market the game? What's your target group? So it means do you make it for teen boys or old grandmas, for example? And of course, one of the most important things is that you would have to have a name.
Yes.
Name also in that. And yeah, that's you would everything you could think of, you put in the game design document.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I have a question. These are like a lot of different things which I'm guessing the game designers work on. Is there like a team of professionals which are working together on this document, or is it the responsibility of like an individual to make sure and add everything that the team decides on this? I'm just a bit confused since I have no
Uh,
idea
it
how
it
this.
yeah, it depends. It depends a lot. So, for example, uh, well, this is the yeah. Let's go to that later. But for example, I did it. I did it like first myself and then with the team. So
Okay.
so and of course in bigger companies I think there's like the creative team, but we have a really small company, so we do everything almost like by ourselves.
Okay.
So so that's what usually happens. And when you also design a game, you usually like get really excited at first, like yeah, this is the idea, this is what I want to do, and then you realize that what it actually means, and and that isn't like that isn't usually you start to think about like the practices that what what if it does that, then what it means to the next stage of the game and the design and stuff like that. So then that those things usually like in every project there's the initial excitement and then the moment you realize that shit it didn't
I think
go.
this problem of motivation is like a big issue when it comes to designing anything, I would say,
Oh yeah, yeah,
because like in the beginning everybody's pretty excited and they're really dedicated to whatever they're doing, and then when it comes to like in practice, it when you realize the boundaries that that you have, both internal and external, it becomes a bit more less motivating for it. So that's a good example, and those are pretty good photos as well.
yeah, yeah. They are like the best like the best pictures of me to represent those those stages that that are yeah. Um, was there anything else about this particular? No, not I don't think so. No. Yeah, I think I have to watch the clock. Yeah, I think we have to move on this so that we don't run out of time.
No, take your
Uh,
time. It's all right.
oh, it's some okay. It's all right. So I think a lot of people that are like wanting to have a job in game industry and start to learn to design games, they are wondering that how, why, where, where do I do that? So I think the biggest thing is to play games, and 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 what makes a game you love so great, like kind of analyze it that way. And also if there's like something to make better, what would you do better? Why would you do it better? Like all those different things, basically. Then there are these things called game jams. I don't know if you know about
No,
like.
I have no idea about what game jams are. Could you
Okay,
please
yeah,
inform me?
yeah, I enlighten you about that.
Yes.
So, so game jams are like things that you have this timeline, like let's say 48 hours to make a game with your community. Like
Okay.
basically, there's this global game jam is every year on January. That has like it's a weekend and people gather in the same place and then they form teams that communicate together and they're like different like artists and programmers get together and then they make a game together and
Okay.
yeah, yeah, and that's really teaches you like a lot about games like
Okay.
itself. Yeah. Actually, this is a good to say in the kind of a Xunk's own video network. But I learned more in game jams than in the lessons itself. But it's just me because I don't learn well in like when I should when I should learn, I don't. But when I have to learn to make something, then I learn better.
I think that's true with majority of people, and especially like for designers. I think classroom teaching, like it's good, but the more experienced teaching, like when you're participating in these tournaments, contests, and game jams, as you explained to me right now, these seminars, but I think they're really helpful, and they really teach you like to troubleshoot problems that you already had, or to learn more stuff from other people who are having the same interest. So that's true.
Yeah, I think so also. Also, well, as I said, schools are still a good way to learn, and like even if you are a person like me that doesn't learn so well at schools, then you also schools offer you like the game jams. You can go through schools to the game jams, and also you can like there are a lot of events that you can go through school. For example, the Pocket Gamer that is yearly in Helsinki, for example. Events like that, you meet the right kind of people, and there's also a lot of like good talks that I think they are useful. And schools are useful in the way of learning. You would say.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And also YouTube. So
Okay,
if you can't learn something from there, it's not worth learning, basically.
that is one good. Like, did you come up with that? Because I would say that's a good one liner.
Oh yeah, yeah. I at least I thought of it myself. I don't know if someone else has said it before, but that was my own thinking for that. That yes, that is like there's a lot of like if you want to learn to program, there's this like a Brackeys channel is really good. Then there's a lot of like through that you can ask me after if you want to learn know some places where to learn about
you can send us the links, and we can send we can share it with our participants and our audience later on, and we can definitely share all these links and the content that you're talking about, because I think it's pretty helpful for the interested people.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, so let's move on with
baby steps.
Baby steps, yeah. So, what are the what are the baby steps of game design, basically? So first you have to, or you don't have to, but you want to set milestones. So when I said that when to kill your baby, I mean that most there are people like our first game was a baby we should have killed a lot before than we actually killed that little
okay. Yeah, it's good that you cleared that one out. But yeah. I understand like it's really important to know when to stop.
Yes. So basically you don't want to leave your projects with a lot of potential unfinished, but if you see that you really have too much work to do before it's like it becomes beneficial for you, then you would have to at least we didn't kill our first project, we froze it, so it's still in like Han Solo freeze. It can come back at some point when we have enough personnel for that. But yeah, so you this Finnish really like this former IGDA, which is like International Game Developer Association chairperson and like an internationally big game guy, Vesa, told me that, or he has told a lot of people that it's really your first game, you will probably kill it at some point. I just didn't believe him at that point when he said it, but yeah, it's the game. First game won't make it to the finish line probably, and that's like that. We learned a lot from the first game, and that's good in that way. But the things that you would have to do is like have these little steps like demos, proof of concept, minimum valuable products also, and then launch big. And people do it like that way, that the launch big doesn't necessarily mean that the launch big is about that game. For example, do you know the game called Rocket League?
For sure, it just got free everywhere. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh yeah, it's really fun. It's an amazing game. That's like the biggest, well, not biggest, but one of the biggest games, at least, well, one of the biggest esports games also, like top 10, let's say,
Yes.
esports games. There is, but have you heard of supersonic acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars? Like
No. No.
like most of the people haven't, but I also played it when it was released, like what could I say, over 10 years ago, almost 50 years ago. It was released, like the supersonic acrobatic rocket-powered paddle cars. That was basically the same game that Rocket League was, but that was the like kind of the proof of concept, like that works, that is fun. So they made a game, and then they launched it big in the like 5 to 10 years later. It was Rocket League, and then it's like this huge thing.
That I didn't know anything about that, but it's so cool because I play Rocket League a lot, and I love football myself. Plus, like when you put cars in football, it's just amazing.
Oh yeah, it is, and it's an amazing idea that they had in the first place, like the cars and the football. Like they kind of like people that don't like football, for example, they have no problems against Rocket League, for example.
Yes.
Like it's a completely different. It kind of combines everything, and it's amazing. It's amazing, but they also made a like this proof of concept, like this that showed like same mechanics, same stuff, but back then it was like that might not be as media sexy name as the Rocket League, but it was really fun back then, and well, it's fun now also. So yeah, that's a way, and that's a really good way to do it. I really like that. I appreciate the way they've done it, like work from ground up. So yeah, that's an amazing thing.
Yes.
Yes. So then there are like the game design mistakes that are like I have to be honest with you, they are kind of like mistakes that we have done ourselves. Like we as a Kuura have done this. Like the first thing in there, like designing too big of a game for the team's skills and experience. That's what we did with our first game called Omega Wars.
Okay.
That was like we had big plans, but it's just like we didn't have enough people and enough experience to pull it off, basically. Then the biggest thing that we are doing right in our current project is that we are not adding new features when we still haven't finished the basic gameplay. So that's like we have like really done a lot with the basic gameplay. Like I said about the Kingdom Hearts and the animation.
Yes.
We are really like focusing our new game to that the basic stuff feels good and it feels fun, and that works. Then we can go to the features. So yeah, that's a big thing. Then these two kind of like
interrelated, I would say.
Yeah, they kind of like yeah. So not finishing games by like you want to, if you see the potential, you want to finish that game, and you don't just like I showed like with new ideas. I was like really happy, and then I was like really bummed out when I had to work on that for a long time, and then I have new ideas all the time, and then I just want to make those, and that leads to that we don't finish any games because we just have a lot of like of halves of games.
Yeah, incomplete projects like.
Oh yeah, and I have like tens of those, and that's like that's one thing I want to get out of. Like I want to start finishing a lot of my games, but still you would have to know when to finish it. When you really like, you would have to know the sweet spot, kind of that when it's like worth finishing, and when it's just like really a lot of stuff to do that you don't know how, or don't, it would take too much time. It's easy to remember in that if your game is like kind of it functions well, it everything is kind of everything is working, but like the last touch is missing. That's in a lot of my games. Then you should finish it.
Okay.
Then you just should finish it. But I'm learning to that, so you don't go to the errors that task has failed
Successfully.
Yeah.
But it's important to know the mistakes, and like you said, you are telling us from your own experience. So thanks a lot for sharing this slide, especially because I think many of our audience and viewers can learn from it, and they can also probably relate to some mistakes that they're making right now and try not to do that.
Oh yeah, that is true. Do we still continue with the presentation? Or,
yes, you can talk about
okay.
the gaming phases.
Yeah, let's. So that is our new game. That is called Puck Off. So it's as it says, it's a hockey game kind of, but it's also a fighting game. So it combines the two. Like some people have said to me, some what was it? Blades of Steel was a game like that in 80s, I guess. But I've never played the Blades of Steel. But that's the. So basically, you can win your opponent by scoring or by just like kicking their ass. So
I will play this game.
Oh, nice! That's good. Actually, it kind of reminds it's similar to Rocket League in that way that you are only a one player, and it also has this like a car driving mechanics, so kind of like gas and brake kind of, but you can really control your own player, and I at least enjoy it when I'm playing it. I don't know if everyone else is. But enough about that. When I was actually making the like funding applications and stuff like that, I had to make the like initial first game design document. And that was like so pre-funding, so that I had to make it well enough for us to get funded. So it had to be kind of appealing and stuff like that. So I did it, and then we did manage to get the funding for the like until the demo of this game is released. So we still have 4 or 5 months left of funding, and but then I showed it to my team that started making the game, and they were like, okay, this is cool, yeah. And then we started making it, and the thing is that even though I tried to be really like specific with everything, they understood it like really differently. Like everything is like everything was different. Well, not everything, but a lot of things were different. Like the camera angles, the stuff that like the team formations, like everything like that was different. That they thought what I was saying was different. So next week we started making a new game design document with ourselves, like as a group, and then we were making that. We spent like 2 days just making game design document. So so we were making that, and then we after that realized that, oh, that doesn't really actually work, and that doesn't work, and that doesn't work. So what we have now is a game design document that we made like as a group, but still it's not like a Bible. We don't follow everything that is in that like document, but we kind of like it depends on the case, but we we test everything before we like
launch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
that's a good example to describe the phases, like by using one of your own games.
Oh yeah.
Thanks a lot for doing that. And do you have like I remember you were talking about some 5 rules.
Oh yeah, there's like I just read this one article. Actually, I haven't read it before I did a bit of study on this. So that's how I learned this. But like there's this blog by Exhuminator or something like that. There's the 5 rules of good game design, and I think those are really good. So first thing is that you would have to the player to have fun. Like why would someone play the game if he or she wasn't having fun? Yeah. So that's the most important thing. Also, the keeping the controls simple. That's like at least a good rule for like first games for sure. Of course, there are like these like fighting games that really like you have to have like a tens of different combinations to do stuff like that. But that's also good to have like it's their own mechanic. But they are like in a simple way. Like that's an important thing. And that actually I haven't thought about before. Of course that's important, but I just haven't thought about it this way. That like don't waste players' time. Like of course like. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy games. Let's go. That, and still, I don't know if you played the online game called Final Fantasy 14.
I think I have played like just a bit of it, but I know all the stories about it, and I've read a lot about it online.
Oh yeah.
On Reddit.
So the thing. Oh yeah, that's good. The thing is about Final Fantasy 14 is that I feel when I'm playing that, I feel like, oh, I'm back at my old job as like a courier. I'm driving a truck and I'm just taking items from place to place with no meaning. I was like, so that was not worth my time. I thought, and I didn't continue it past the 2 months that I played it. And I had to play the 2 months because it has monthly subscription, so I had to do it for the whole 2 months. But like that's of course some people might enjoy those, but I think that's like a kind of a waste of time of like doing this really random task that you get kind of nothing out of just to like move on. And that's like what I would suggest that people that are making games would like think that, so they would value that players have their own life too. For example, that if you have some mission in the game that would have some real value to the like player itself somehow, like story wise, or you get some like you get something other than that, just that you can move forward in the story just because of that. Okay. That's like I think that's important. Also, when I was saying about Pokemon Go's new level cap that increased by 10, I think it's for me, who is not like, I'm kind of still playing kind of actively, but I'm not like actively playing. So I just, when I'm like walking to work or from work to home, then I like play Pokemon. But it's like ridiculous that that max level that I have, the 40, that the former max level, it needed like 20 million experience points, and from to get to 50, it was like 275 million or something. It was like like no one would ever get that with just like if I get like I can say that if I would be playing for the rest of my life like I'm playing right now, I wouldn't go to level 50. Like you would really have to invest your time in that, and I
Yes,
think that really that's kind
drains
of
the life
waste.
out of it.
Yeah, I think so.
I
Uh,
think the fifth point that you said, don't drag it out. It's like goes with the never waste the player's time.
yeah.
So,
Also, yeah, that is true. Also, yeah, and have innovative stuff. That's also good. Of course, that's harder to just say that do something innovative, and then yeah, it's
bring
really
more
hard.
rocket leagues.
Yeah, yeah. For example, but I think those were such like good 5 rules that I just added them also to this presentation. But I don't have anything in this presentation yet. I'm Marko Haaja. You can find me in like LinkedIn, Facebook. I don't know, and anywhere. And then there's like different Kuura social media pages that are somewhat active, not so active, but will be more active when we are closer to the release of Paco at
Uh,
some point.
okay. I'm looking forward to that. So, guys, everybody who's watching this, don't forget to check out their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube channels. Plus, you can find, as Marco said, Marko Haaja on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. And when they release the game Puck Off, make sure you try it out. Marco, before we close, I have few questions from with you. Like,
Oh yeah,
we're going to take a lot of your time,
yeah.
but uh, so like can you like since our topic is about job opportunities, I want to know like just in a brief way, what are the main skills required for this position in this industry, like game design? Can you
Uh,
mention a few points or like just something that comes to your mind, the most important skill?
so the most important skill, I think, it's hard work and motivation. That's like you don't
Uh-huh.
have to basically know everything in the like beginning if you are motivated and you work hard. Of course, if you have like this mind that thinks like kind of like I don't know how programmers think, but like kind of like this sounds bad when I say you have a simple mind, but that you have like you can think of complex things with simple like you can simplify things.
Okay.
That's like good skill for programming. Of course, if you're artistic, then you are really useful for game design. I'm not, but someone who is, that's really really useful. Of course, if you are just good at making music, then you can be a part of a game company, and you have like let's say attention of detail is really good. That's also helpful for that.
Okay. And one more, like we mentioned in somewhere in the middle of your presentation something about motivation and like finishing the project where when you showed us your couple of pictures of beginning and end. I want to ask you like briefly, how can young newbie game designers keep their motivation till the end of their project? Can you
Yeah,
suggest them something, some tip that you have for yourself?
yeah, that's like. Um, that's a really good. I have been trying to get into that more, but like I liked a lot when we were visited a couple of years back by Remedies. That's like a Finnish big game company, but
Control,
Remedies.
right?
Yeah, Control. Yeah, it's from them.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I really
they're
love
yeah. Oh, you have made it. Yeah,
this.
that's really yes. So their former chief financial officer Mika Reini was here like a few years back, and he said to us that that always finish your games. That's what I actually said before in this, but like don't leave those games unfinished. That's the most important. So like there's also this good meme that I don't like find right now, but it's always good to explain memes. Of course, everyone understands it when I explain it. So there's first this like big like straw or something. There's big straw that's like how much you get done. So if you focus on one single thing, you can go far. The straw will be really big, but if you like focus on like let's say 10 different things, then they are all you have 10 straws, but they are all like this size, like really small. And I think that was a really good example of also like if you have to just think about like focusing on one thing and doing it as well as possible. I think that's a good thing to like think of. That's what I try to think of when I'm doing something.
That's really useful advice with a good example from Remedy, I would say. And thanks a lot, Marko, for
Thank you.
sharing your slides. Most of the questions that I had for you and our audience, probably, I think you covered all of them in your slides. They were really simple but very informative. And I really like that simplicity. So thanks a lot once again, Marko. I would like to share the screen right now, and I would just I would like to conclude this episode.
Yes.
So for all our viewers, I hope you enjoyed today's episode with Marko. We got to know so much about game design and how to do different kinds of things in it. What is game design and how to not make the same mistakes, and like learning from an experienced professional in this industry. So uh, we have more topics coming up soon. Today's episode was game design, and we would be coming next week. We are coming up with the episode about streaming, in which Yanni Rene would be joining us. So don't forget to register for that one. And for more information about our events, make sure to check out the link. And we have all our links for the Facebook, Discord, and Twitter channels in our description. So don't miss those. And thanks for joining. See you guys again.